everybody, welcome back. Did you have a nice couple of hours? Did you do anything fun? Or were you crafting along after watching the shows earlier this morning? Do let us know. And it is National Indoor Plant Week, is that right? Indoor Plant Week. So because of that, we are going to choose somebody at random that comments, and you are going to win these little goodies. So we've got some gorgeous little plant stickers. I like that one that says Plant Parent. This is one of my favourite mini dies. I love that big pot plant. And then we've got this one with a little bit of love. So all you need to do is comment. It can be a question, it can be just a hello, or you might want to tell us if you could create, what was your favourite plant for a start, but also if you could create your own plant by merging two plants together, what would you do? Because I said I'd quite like a lavender, but all the flowers were little tiny roses. Let's have a little think about that. Now, we've got a fantastic craft along coming along. I'm not going to craft, but I'm going to have my wonderful guest on the other side of the studio who's going to craft something fantastic. Aren't you, Craig? Hello.
I hope so, anyway. I hope so. We're going to be using the Halloween craft boxes, you know, the little boxes that you got with the Halloween characters. So we're going to do that, but instead of doing a box, what we're going to be doing is a card, but we're going to incorporate some of our Halloween acetate here. Now, this one is inspired by our Nicole. She done a box with this sort of front on it, but I thought, let's do it into a card blank. What we're even going to do, in case you're like, well, Craig, where do you write? Of course, you write in the middle, and then you're going to be, Craig, where do you hide the adhesive? Well, you hide it with your panels all the way around. So I have thought about it all, Becky. You really don't need much cardstock at all. We will be using the cardstock that came with the initial bundle, which of course you can grab a hold of today. But before we jump back to Becky, before we come back to me and get started with the craft along, shall I read out the list of what you're going to need?
Yes, please.
So if you're going to create exactly what I'm going to be doing, you're going to need the Friday Night Die and stencil set, Friday Night A4, or Fright Night, should I say, Fright Night A4 luxury linen card. You're going to need the Wicked Witch stamp and die set. That's only for the sentiment, though. The Trick or Treat 12x12 luxury foiled acetate, Vintage Halloween 6x6 pad, Anthracite water reactive ink pad, Noir black alcohol-proof ink pad, and a white gel pen. Then the additional items you're going to need is a Gemini, large guillotine, Scoremaster, magnetic stamping platform, blending tool or brush. You're going to need a tape pen, tacky glue, and some foam pads as well. That's for you to then get creative and make, of course, this actual card. What you could do is you could follow the steps of creating the witch's face, and then if you've got the set and want to create the little box that you've got included, stencil-wise, then Becky, you can absolutely do that.
Fantastic, I'm looking forward to this. We've got a few hellos to say. We've got Paul Peterson from South Texas, Stephen Nicole says good evening, Sarah Thompson says hello everybody, Suzanne Dawn, good sunny afternoon, crafty friends. Stephanie says good afternoon everyone from Farmingdale, New Jersey. Certainly feels like fall today. Yeah, over here it's definitely beginning to not feel summery. Lois says it's live at 5. Hello everyone from Ohio. Mary Beth says hi everyone here from Minnesota. Jane says hello everyone from a fabulous Las Vegas. I do love Vegas. I went there for my 40th. It was fabulous. Yeah, it was really good.
Vegas.
Jane Adams says hi everyone. Oh, I've already said that. Suzanne says hello, Becky, Craig, Jan, and all the CC family. And Lois says my favourite plant is a pythos. What's that? I want to know. Craig, do you have a favourite plant or a favourite plant or a flower? Do you want to? So a plant that you want to like mix together so you can make a fantastic plant.
I have to say as well, just to give you a little behind the scenes, at the side of me here, we've got an additional camera just to the side, so I can't actually see Becky. I'm used to just seeing Becky.
You definitely can't see me now if I do that, because I'm right underneath the camera.
Yeah. No, definitely, even when you're like that, no, I can't see you. I had a little bit of a shift with the cameras there. But when it comes to flowers, I do like a peony. Peony flower. I'm very quite traditional, peony, rose, that sort of stuff. I do like a daisy. I do like a daisy, sunflower. So yeah, a few of them.
But would you mix, if you could mix, so if you could have a peony, would you have it in a really crazy colour? Like a blue, bright blue peony maybe?
No. I'm trying to, well, I'm very much for traditional colours when it comes to whatever it is, for instance, flowers. Of course, I don't know about you guys stateside or Europe. Here in the UK, around Valentine's Day, what they do is they bring out a range of roses that are multicoloured. Don't know how they do it, but they do real roses, but these are actually multicoloured roses. They do look smart, but depending on the flower, I am very much with the traditional colour. And of course, roses, you do get yellow ones as well.
Do you, did you ever read Enid Blyton's Magic Faraway Tree?
No, they
went to the land of goodies and they had plants that opened up and they were full of ice cream. The flowers were little cups holding ice cream.
Oh,
and I remember thinking that'd be quite nice.
Oh, really? No, I'm not much of a reader. The only time that I tend to read, Becky, is if it's a celebrity autobiography.
Oh, okay.
And I have to really
What's your favourite autobiography?
Oh, 100%, 1,000,000% Davina McCall.
Oh, I've not read hers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely incredible. TV personality here in the UK.
Yeah.
It's a good few years old, but yeah, Davina McCall's autobiography and also Gordon Ramsay's ones.
Do you know I've met both of them?
You've not read any of them?
I've met both of those people.
Yeah?
Yeah. Davina McCall used to live in a block of flats in Chiswick.
I am so jealous. I am so jealous.
Yeah, I know everybody. I don't really. Right, we should get going because we've only got an hour with this craft along. We've got lots and lots to get through. So this collection that we've got here, this is our showstopper, and this is your Halloween character box collection. You've got the Halloween box dies. So you have the mummy. Is there both two mummies? No, two mummies. A Frankenstein and a witch, and you've got all of the different dies to create those, as well as a template to make the box. You've also got some luxury linen cardstock in all like the dark colours, like the blues and the greys, and some very sort of dark greens. But you've also got this fabulous collection of really brightly coloured cardstock. You've got 40 sheets in there. And then you have some of the best things in the world. Not only do you have a tape pen and some red liner tape, but you have the gorgeous little, look at them, look, those little brushes. And yes, this is the same brush that I had at the beginning of the show this morning, and it's still here because it's still my emotional support brush that I've got here. To show you the dies that you're going to be getting in this collection, you're going to get a lot here because there's lots of different elements to each of these characters. And of course, as Craig was saying, we're going to be doing a card now, but they're made for working with a box. So you've got that box template here as well as all those other embellishments down here, like the spider and the webs and things like that. So the prices are £55 or $68. Platinum price is £44 or $54.40 for all of that. And as you can see, there's quite a lot in that collection. Craig, I'm really looking forward to what you're going to be making.
Good, I'm glad. So let's delve in then, and let's get started with the card blank. Now, card blank, we're going to take our acetate. Yours is going to be 12 by 12, so you're simply going to chop it in half at 6 inch. So we're going to have our sheet of acetate that's 12 inches by 6 inches. So you're going to take your guillotine and then you're just going to chop it in half. You can, of course, use your V-blade trimmer or you can use your scissors if you want. But the easiest way and the best way for construction acetate, which ours is when it's foiled, and that is your guillotine. So you're going to come along now with your scoreboard. Now, I'm going to take my acetate and we're going to score at the 6 inch line. Now, acetate is a little bit different from cardstock. Now, I'm just briefly, I know we've only got an hour, but I'm just going to explain what I mean. So your cardstock, if you score your cardstock, so you're pushing into your card, you're going to fold that, Becky, back on itself. So you're going to fold that back on itself when it comes to the score of cardstock. Acetate is different. Acetate, you actually want to form in the way that it naturally starts to then come together. So I'm going to take, I cannot remember if I've taken my protective backing off of this or not. All of our foiled acetate comes with it. No, I haven't. Comes with the protective backing. So you're going to take that off, and then that's you good to go. So although this is going to be the right side, I'm going to turn it over. We're going to go up to the box lid side, and we're going to score at 6 inches. And the reason we're doing that is it naturally, your acetate naturally starts to gravitate inside itself.
Okay.
So therefore, you're just going to let it go. Cardstock, you fold away from itself. Your acetate, you fold in on itself.
Okay.
It's a lot easier to do it that way. So you're going to fold that at your 6-inch line, and then we're going to give that a really good burnish. I would recommend going in with your actual burnishing tool with your acetate. Give it a really good burnish, and then you've started to get your 6x6 card blank.
Nice.
So let's go in with our patterned paper, and we're going to go in with our guillotine here. So this is from your vintage Halloween, and I'm going to chop it down to 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. If I was wanting to visually still be central in the middle, I'd be taking off a little bit at the top, bottom, left and right. You're not actually going to see much of this because the witch's face is going to be covering it. So I'm not really bothered. So I'm just going to come all the way down to 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. We can then go into our Fright Night cardstock, and we're going to go in with the orange. Now, do you remember in the last show earlier on today, Becky, with really thin mats and layers, I was talking about how I cut to 1/4 inch bigger and then trim. So what I'm going to do here, that's 4.5 by 4.5. So I'm going to go to 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. So that gives me my perfect 1/4 inch mat and layer. But because I only want a thin mat and layer, Becky, this is when I come along and I do little and often on the side and the bottom.
Would you not stick that mat and layer together and then trim it afterwards?
You could do, if you find it easier. In actual fact, we still need to add this onto a black layer, so we'll do that.
Right.
We'll do it that way, because some of you might visually find it a lot easier to stick it onto the card and trim. So I'm even going to go just for a little bit more of a delicate mat and layer, and that should be perfect, which it is. So we would do the same for the black layer. But I tell you what, let's do exactly what Becky's just suggested there, and maybe you find it easier to then mat and layer onto your card and then trim. And the good thing with doing it that way, Becky, is visually we can get the correct mat and layer on the top and the side to start with.
Yeah.
So instead of cutting all the edges, you've got two that are already at the width that you want, and now all we need to do is trim these two bits. I would still cut more than I need, so I'm going to cut and cut a little bit bigger than I need, and then yes, what I can do is I can then come along, and what you need to always remember as well, and it's not a manufacturing issue, but sometimes the corner of your card aren't exactly 90-degree angles. So therefore, your card can be a little bit off sometimes if you're matting and layering.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if we break a lot
that really is a scant amount on either side, isn't it?
Yeah, well, a lot of our cardstock that's A4 or 12 by 12 is really good at being a perfect 90-degree angle. But for some reason, sometime across the board, across the industry, not just our card, any brand, when it comes to manufacturing, sometimes you still get the full A4 or the letter size, but it's not quite at a 90-degree. It's maybe just a few mils or degrees off. So then, therefore, your perfect square mats and layers aren't going to be spot on. So the way around that is what I always do. If I think it's a little bit off, Becky, we're just going to trim the side, trim the top. Now, I know that that will be a perfect 90-degree, and then all my other mats and layers. So if your card isn't exactly bang on, just trim the side and the base yourself, and then you know all the additional layers will then match and meet.
Handy tip.
There you go. So let's bring this one in here. And let's mat and layer this one while we are here. So we're going to use our glue. You can use your tape if you want, and then we're going to press that in. And because my card was perfect at 90 degree, it means all my layers are perfect. So if we then take the cardstock that I was just showing you there a minute ago, we will see that little bit of adhesive on the back once we turn it around. Now, it'll be little, but still, it's enough to kind of warrant just doing a back end, yeah. So what I'm going to do within this one is my black card that I cut was just under 4 3/4. So what I'm going to do, Becky, is I'm going to cut my white card that's a slither smaller than the back.
Okay.
Just enough to pretty much be a near exact, but it's not big enough that we're going to see it. If it was too big, we'd start to see it overflowing on the edges. So that's more than enough to then cover. So for this to all make sense, let's just dive in and do this layer just now. And although you can use your tacky glue onto acetate, you do need to let it dry a fair bit longer. That's why I'm just going to jump to my tape runner. So let's flatten this one out, and then I'm going to layer that into the middle, as close to the middle as I can possibly get, and then press. Now if I turn that around, you know, it's not easy to see the tape, but if you look close, you can see a little bit.
And you are a perfectionist, aren't you, Craig?
Yes, I am at times. I am.
I was going to go, no, I'm not that hard work, but oh yes, I am.
I am a little bit, a little bit. And this one I'm doing in white card. You could do it in black card to completely block it out if you want to, but it's just a nice way now to then attach that onto your acetate, and you see no adhesive onto the back. You could always decorate it with your stamps or that if you want to. And then what we're going to do, so that we can write onto our card, I'm going to take some more white card, and this one, let's cut it to 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And this one we also want to be, you know, a little bit smaller, because we don't want to see that white card sticking out from the front. So we want that to be a little bit smaller, and then we're going to cover the back. So we're going to do the same again. So let's get another piece of card, and that one we're going to cut to, well, we're actually not going to quite do 4 1/4, because we're going to do a matte layer for this inside layer. So this is where we're going to write. So the white card is just over, or sorry, the white card is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to give myself a little white matte layer that we can see here. And then what I'm going to do to hide the adhesive that's going to be on the back of that black layer, I'm going to pretty much do the same size as the black layer, just a few mils smaller. And these are the measurements I'm giving you so that you can then follow along now or follow along later. But you can adjust these layers. You can make them bigger if you want to. You could do die cut circles or ovals if you want to. It's entirely up to yourself. But it's all about so that when you lay that flat, Becky, you see none of the layers underneath until you open it.
Okay.
So we can then go in here.
I'm interested to see how you're going to line it all up.
So you would think that you're going to try and line it up in the middle there. So we're not. Turn it around. Stick that over.
Why did I not think of that?
Stick that over. Then press your card.
Craig.
And then let's take our white layer, which is perfectly sized. And now you know that you've not only got it bang centre in the middle, but you've got it bang centre behind your patterned paper layer. And actually you can see that perfect white matte layer border all the way round from the inside. So there's our front layer.
You're like a crafty wizard, you are. Magic, that was.
Covering your adhesive. That's perfect central in the middle. And then we've also created our layer to cover any adhesive. So that is how we are going to do those layers. I think, Becky, really the next part is just start to cut all the elements. So I know there was a little bit of measuring and cutting going on there. So let's take a little bit of a break for anyone who wants to get caught up. And then when we come back, we'll dive straight in to doing the cutting.
No problem. So the showstopper that we've got in front of me has got those dies and the little box template to make all these different characters. And you've got a plethora of linen cardstock. So you've got that brightly coloured cardstock, and you've also got the Halloween one with the sort of dark greys and dark greens and sort of a yellow ochre colour. You've also got a tape pen and some red liner tape, and then you have the marvellous little brushes. If anyone hasn't got these already, they are just lovely. You need them. £55 or $68. Platinum price is £44 or $54.40. Remember, it's indoor plant week, and so we're going to give away to one lucky viewer these items. We've got some stickers, or we've got some dies as well. You just need to comment. It might be a question. It might be a comment of your favourite plant. I know I say that a lot. Favourite plant, or maybe an idea for a new plant that you might want to create. We will see you in a couple of moments. Make sure you check out your baskets. We'll be back soon.
It differs slightly depending how lively I'm feeling first thing in the morning. Sometimes I head to the gym. More often than not, I don't head to the gym and I go on the school run. After the school run, I'm normally in here, getting by about 10 o'clock, chatting with the producer, whoever that might be on the day. So I've started going home a little bit more now, actually, in between shows. I only live about 5 minutes up the road, so it's nice to take a bit of a break. Nice cheese sarnie, yeah. Cheese sarnie, I love sandwich. Going home. I can't say the end of the day. You might want to keep this in. I can't say the end of the day, can I? The best part of the day is starting off and finding out what kind of a day it's going to be. Oh, probably night owl now. Never shower. He's so dirty. Oh, that's a really good question again. I'm a bath man. I love a bath. Coffee in the morning, tea in the evening. No breakfast. I don't really have breakfast. I tend to sort of eat my first meal around lunchtime. Craft along. My waistcoats, my range of waistcoats. You've always got to have plenty of waistcoats ready for the day. Is help the guys pack up. I know you're looking at me saying you don't do that. I do. I'm not one of those presenters that comes in, doesn't help the backstage crew. I'm always helping out. You just ask anybody else.
My day-to-day life is pretty busy in work. Literally, I get in the door, I check my polls, I then check what I've got to demo, I then get everything ready, and it's just busy, busy, busy from there. I have a meeting with the producer, the director, we get there for the shows, talk to the presenter, and it depends what side I'm on. I mean, sometimes I'm doing the presenting side, sometimes the demonstration side, and I love both. It's actually who I get to work with. Yeah, I can't say no more than that other than anybody that works here. We are a big family. We're so super friendly. I love Ben. I love it when we work together. And I don't mean that I don't love anyone else. It's the fact that Ben is the presenter and then I'm demonstrating, and we just have this great rapport. Same with Craig, same with Deb, same with the whole team. So yeah, the best part of the day is just getting to work with the best people in the industry. Oh, a night out. In the morning. Oh, none. I only drink water. Oh, well, it's out sugar, so it's got to be savoury. Masterclass. Oh, I can't leave the house without my lipstick. Oh, I love a baked potato. I relax, so I literally drive home normally and then I relax.
Hello everybody, welcome back. Lots of comments about what plants they would like. So Simon says she'd like a plant that grew pineapples in the UK. And I think you get pineapple flavoured strawberries, can't you? I've seen those in the supermarket.
Can you?
Yeah, they're white and they're pineapple flavoured strawberries.
Do you remember when you used to get your candy floss or cotton candy grapes?
Oh my God, they're delicious.
Yeah.
But they are they're something like 70% sugar. They are really, really high in sugar.
Are they?
Yeah,
well,
really
I suppose candy floss or
it does
cotton
really
candy
just taste like candy floss. Now we've got Kirsty D says, I've got indoor plant, spider plant. Unfortunately, my cat keeps trying to eat it. That's not very good, is it? Crafting, Not Grafting by Hilary says, my favourite plant is wisteria. I like wisteria. Crystal says she's got several pothos, which I now realise I've seen a picture, I've got one as well. I'd like to merge together to make a peony and a calla lily together. That would look quite cool. Abigail says, hydrangeas are my favourite. It would be amazing if they had a rose scent. Oh, that would be lovely. I really like that idea. And lots of people liking the idea about using acetate for the base of the card and saying it's quite good as an idea for Christmas. And I think this looks really good. It looks quite ethereal, very much going with a whole kind of Halloween vibe, almost like a floating card. I like that.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a little bit different than a card blank, which of course you can absolutely do. And you know, we use acetate for, you know, a number of different things. Sometimes we maybe don't use it to its full potential or advantage. What a great way just to create your own 6x6 card blank. And of course you're going to get 2 of them because you're chopping it in half and then scoring. So now that we've done our mats and layers and all those are now done, let's dive in and let's start to do the die cutting. So I have got my cardstock ready because what I wanted to do with the witch, Becky, instead of getting all the sheets of cardstock, roughly cutting them down to fit, I thought let's have them all ready to fit and then for you to then follow along with the actual dies that you need to create the witch. So you're going to need that one. If you're following the colours that I'm doing, then we're going to be using that one with the orange. Then when it comes to the hat, we're going to use the purple. This is all from the Fright Night A4 linen cardstock. And because we're using our plates, I'm just going to use my tape to secure them. And then we're going to press. And then have a look at the waist. For instance, the waist of the witch's hat, or the Harry Potter sorting hat, this would be a good one to be using for a stencil, the waist components. So think of things such as that. We go in with this one, which is going to be her face. And let's tape that one down. We're going to then go in with some card, so some of the yellow. And then we're going to take the buckle for the hat. And then we're going to be using the star. Now the star we will need to cut a few times. So what I'm going to do, this is when you start to intermix with different die cutting machines.
Yep.
So we're going to do majority of it within our large plate G2, and then because we'll only need some small stars, it's going to be quicker to do it through the mini.
Okay.
So we've got the mini to go. And then I'm going to come along with some of the pink cardstock. And we're going to go in with the circle. The circle will do another as well, because this is going to be her rosy cheeks. We've got the inside of her ear, and then we've got her nose. And we're going to then tape that down, like so. And then we're going to take our black card. So our black card also from the Fright Night A4 linen. We're going to take a bat, a spider. We're also going to take, which is going to be the band of our hat. And then these two here will also need to do another cup. Well, one of them will need to do a second one, because that's going to be her eyelids. So we're going to then press that in. And now that's most of the main die cuts, other than a couple that we'll need to do another few of. So we're going to go in frosted, magnetic, and then we're going to go in top plate. And we're going to then run that one through. Becky, what I'm going to do is that's going to go through. I'm not going to do anything. I think we're having a few issues with my mic, so I'll take that out. I'll not do anything. We'll get that sorted, and then we'll come back.
Okay, no problem. We've got, Kirsty D says, do aquarium plants count as house plants? I think so. If so, I have a few of them. They've recently had a trim because they've taken over the fish tank. Well, you could get quite pretty aquarium plants, don't you? Kelly Jones says, I think the Halloween characters have such adorable faces. Maybe because that's like, I like making Halloween cards. Do you give Halloween cards to all your friends that you would send, holiday cards to? Or is there any people that come over to your house for like a Halloween party? Quite interested to find out, actually. Jeffrey says, it's a sunny 84 degrees here in New Hampshire. It's the 10th day of nice weather. You're lucky. It's the first day of nice weather I've noticed for a long time. And Kelly Jones says, I think the witch would look great with a green face. Oh, she would, wouldn't she? Very much, what's her name? What's her name? Alpha, yeah, from Wicked. Or Wizard of Oz, Wicked. And there was a message here earlier on, which was about, it made me really hungry. Where is it? I know that's not unusual because everything makes me really hungry, but it was a comment about, it's Kirsty, who says, in between shows I've made some cheese and onion bread and bolognese sauce for tea. I just need to cook the spaghetti. That sounds delicious. I think I'd like the recipe for cheese and onion bread. Maybe I'll make that when not when I get home tonight because we're too late, but maybe I will make that tomorrow. That sounds very nice. Simon says, what's my favourite Halloween themed film or show? I was thinking I quite like Fright Night, the one that had the more recent one. I think there was an original Fright Night, and there's a more recent one with Colin Farrell, I think, in it. And I liked that. I'm not big on frightening films, but I do like, everyone knows I like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I suppose Dracula's, was it Colin Farrell? Dracula, the one with, what's his name? Gosh, what's his name? Famous. Dracula with Keanu Reeves in it, but that's not the main person I'm thinking of. What was his name, who played Dracula? Gary Oldman. I think that was a fantastic film, and I do remember going to a fashion show and all the designers, everything was sort of vampire-esque with little tiny glasses and top hats. It was quite a look. I very much liked that. Lisa said she would like a palm tree that grows money. Oh no, a plant that grows money. Wouldn't we all? Because I bought one of those money plants, and let's be honest, they don't give me any money. No, but you're supposed to pray to it each morning, I think. Yeah. Mine's not been growing, and that'll be the reason why I haven't got any money. But people always say money doesn't grow on trees, but I suppose we could.
Technically it does though, doesn't it?
Exactly, that's what I think.
Technically it does.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know why I'm on my tiptoes, by the way, sorry.
One tiptoes, because I feel like a meerkat. You know when the meerkats do this?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like, trying to look over the camera at Craig. I'm not supposed to look at you over there, I'm supposed to look at you down there. Anyway.
Yeah, I know, we're not. We're meant to look at the camera, but yes.
Are you all fixed now?
All good. I think you can all hear me okay. Yes, we're all good to go. Done nothing, put the plates down. So let's open these up. And let's move these ones out the way. So that I don't forget, there's the ear, the nose, and then that's going to be one of the cheeks. So let's do another one just now, also in the pink. And then before we take all the other bits out, also so that I don't forget, let's take the star and then let's pop these on. Now you know what I'm like. There'll be some of you that's saying, well, Craig, can't you just layer up 2 or 3 layers of yellow card and cut that out? Yeah, you can do. The pressure of the Gemini will do that, no problem at all. But it gives you that similar look as if you have to use the one die for the left and the right hand side. Whereas the top layer of the star, that will be beautifully cut. The second layer of the star, it will still be perfectly cut, but you're going to have a little bit more of a rougher edge. It's not going to be as smooth. And then you're going to have exactly the same issue with the third layer. So yes, to save a bit of time, you can multiple die cut your layers, but for all the time that it really does take, where possible, and I'm not saying that I don't do it, there has been times, maybe we really are running out of time, or I'm running out of time, that I'll need to do a couple of layers of card and then die cut it at once. But wherever possible, I will always cut the layer of card once and bring in my mini just to make it that little bit quicker. And just using as much of that little bit of yellow card. I've still got more to the side of me here. But if I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've done 7 in the original one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's do one more. Wonder if that will fit on that center bit of the buckle. I might just manage it and no more. As I said, it's not as if I've not got a whole pack of yellow card at the side of me, but hey, let's try and be frugal. It's not often that happens.
You might as well use all the tiny bits and pieces. This is perfect for all those little scraps, isn't it?
Well, it is, yeah. Yep. And I always say, you can always kind of tell, Becky, when I'm using my own cardstock, because I'm frugal. If it's the studio cardstock, if it's Jake and Tracy's, you can kind of tell because I'm not quite as frugal. So it's not mine, so I'll just...
What, even when it's Tracy's card?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to cut that one. So, yes, and this is Tracy and Jake's set. So, yes, I am being frugal, but it's one of the only times that you'll tend to see me being frugal with a studio set. Because usually I would just probably take a whole piece of pink and just cut a tiny little circle out, because that's what it's needed. So, take all these bits. So I've got my stars, the sentinel buckle, what's going to be the ear, the nose, and then the cheeks. So let's take that one out, and then let's take the spider. Let's take the bat. I've also here got the mouth, and then I did need, didn't I? I needed to do one extra eyelid. So let's, one there, and then let's take that one. And that is the last one that needs a double cut. So we're going to pop that one through. Now we could have done all them together. They would all have fitted on the Gemini mini folder. But of course they would have all fit on any of your Geminis. So we've got the face. We've then got what's going to be the hair. And then we've also got what's going to be the hat. So that's all of these, and that's all the die cutting. So let's go in with a little bit of anthracite, little bit bold in colour at the moment. So let's dim it down slightly. So I'm going to go in and just subtly pick up a little bit of darkness shade around the edge. And
That makes it look much more realistic.
It does, doesn't it?
No, not that I'm saying I've seen many witches in real life.
She's a
but,
dirty
you know,
witch.
Yeah, a dirty witch.
Well, it's what they say, isn't it? That
No, I bet They will be because they're flying around at night. And let's be honest, if you travel on public transport or you're outside a lot, you get quite mucky. Your hands are dirty when you come back.
You do?
Broomsticks are not clean, are they? You
No,
know?
but no, I don't think so.
I think they've probably got quite mucky faces.
And think back to that classic film, The Witches, with Angelica Houston.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good film.
What is it that she says? The dirtier the child, it's the dirt you smell. The cleaner the child, it's the child you smell.
That was a good film.
Yeah.
I wasn't overly keen on the remake.
I wasn't either.
No.
No. Witches, you may remove your
wigs.
wigs. Yeah. Classic, classic film.
We want like the same kind of films, don't we?
We do. We do.
Now, a couple more messages about plants. A Crafty Not Grafting suggests a plant by Hilary. Crafty Not Grafting by Hilary suggests a plant that grew chocolate Easter eggs. That would be good. I like that idea.
Okay.
And Kelly said she mails Halloween cards to 9 members of my family and friends. Just like most other holidays, Christmas and Valentine's Days are the holidays where I make more. Yeah, I mean, they take a long time, so you've got to be giving them to somebody who's really going to appreciate that you've handmade something.
For sure.
Probably not going to send a handmade card to your dentist. Not unless you particularly like your dentist. Crystal asks, do I read? I do. I read continuously, all the time. 1 year, when I was a child, I'd forgotten to take my books with me on holiday, and I just spent all my time reading labels on people's clothes. I had to read something. Yeah, very sad, but I do love reading.
Are you an actual reader from a book, or have you now gone to like your tablet
side.
or your Kindles, that sort of
I
stuff?
prefer a book,
Yeah.
but I read so much, I have to have a Kindle. So when I went away on my honeymoon, I was away for 3 weeks, and I took 36 books with me.
Did you?
And I read them all within I had about 4 or 5 days to go.
Yeah.
So a Kindle for me is fantastic because it makes a real difference to me because I don't have to take anything with me travelling. And I have the Kindle app on my phone, which I find really useful.
Okay.
I think I'm now on something like 190 days without a break of reading on my Kindle.
Wow.
Yeah, I do love to read.
I wish, Becky, I could just sit down and read. Unless...
There's so much pleasure from a new book. I've got a new book to read tonight on the train home, and I'm so excited. Nicola's 177 weeks. No, I think reading's just lovely. And it's a bit different to films, isn't it? Because you can use your own imagination.
Well, it's funny you saying that. Although this was ages ago, the only book of a film that I ever read, which you won't be shocked at all, was Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
They had a book?
Yeah, there was a book. It's years and years and years old. And that was the first time where I fully learned that you find out more information in the book and backstory than you do within the film. The film, you've only got about 90 minutes or so to fill, whereas a book, you've got all that backstory. And you got backstory when it came to the book. So that was really the only time that I fully read a book that wasn't an autobiography.
Oh, it's really coming together now, isn't it?
It is. Once you start to position all the bits into place, and you can see how it starts to come together, and do that. Just have a play to start with. That's the main basis of The Witch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my glue.
Like Mookwitch from Rent-A-Ghost.
Rent-A-Ghost?
Yeah, do you remember? Wasn't she called Mookwitch? Lady with the red hair.
I'm trying to think what or who that is.
Was she the woman that played Superbrown? Hazel the Mookwitch. Does she have red hair, Nicola? Oh, black and white. That's how old my knowledge of TV shows is. No, it wasn't. Rent-A-Ghost was not black and white.
Right. Is this the one that Ben thinks looks like Bewitched? The film, not the girl band.
I don't know.
You know the one that she winks?
Yeah, Samantha.
Is that?
Yeah, that's what. Apparently she had blonde hair. Who knows what I'm talking about, Nicola?
Go on.
I am making it up as I go along, quite clearly. Crystal says, if you like vampires, you should read the series called Shades of Vampire. It's addictive. The author's name is Bella Forrest. Excellent. Another book for me to pop on my list. I do like to have plenty of books to choose from. Because sometimes you're in the mood. Well, actually, I'll be honest, I read multiple books at the same time. Yeah.
I definitely couldn't do that.
No, and sometimes, if they're all brand new books, I like to reread books.
Yeah.
So there's certain books I read at certain times of the year. So whenever I go on holiday, I read Travels with my Aunt. And then I can definitely sort of split from others. But if I read two books that are quite similar, in different rooms, for example, or different devices, sometimes I sort of end up merging the stories together, which makes like a whole third book.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, maybe about 2 years ago or so, I made the mistake of watching the new series of Grey's Anatomy and also going back and rewatching some of the early ones. And I was getting myself so confused. Emma, that does a cracking job of putting all the shows together here on Crafters TV with the products and that, she loves Grey's Anatomy as well, and I was messaging her going, I've totally lost the plot here. I've forgotten which is which and who's who, and I was getting the storylines mixed up, and yeah, I thought never again am I doing that. So it was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. So I can understand what you mean by when you're trying to read two books.
It's not. It's a bit of a pain. There's a challenge, isn't it? Crafty Not Grafting by Hilary says, I read 100 books a year, a mix between a Kindle and books. Yeah, I suppose it's what you enjoy. If you watch TV a lot, you probably wouldn't read as many books.
No.
But, there's nothing better than sitting down by the window and it's raining outside and you're reading a book. I do like that.
A little hot cup of tea or something like that, sitting at the window, reading a book. Do you know what it is? I think I just need one to really capture my attention. Just grasp the story.
Audiobooks are good because we all do a lot of driving, don't we?
Yeah.
Or travelling, and I think audiobooks are excellent. That's quite good fun.
Well, that's where the last couple, certainly the last autobiography I bought, and I had the pleasure of meeting her at a book signing, was Yvette Fielding, who does Most Haunted, just earlier on this year.
She hasn't aged.
No, she's not.
She looks exactly the same as she did when she did Blue Peter.
She's not. It must be all the ghosts that are keeping her young.
Ectoplasm.
Yeah, that'll be what it is. But I was on the road so much down to Hobbymaker, and I couldn't just sit and enjoy the book, so I actually bought the autobiography as well. And I think what made the difference is because, and I know most celebrities do this, but not all, she actually read her own autobiography.
Yeah, I like it when they do that.
And that made a difference as well. Made a huge difference.
I ended up buying, I think I've told this story, I ended up buying Spare as an audiobook and as a Kindle version and as hard copy for me to find out, because apparently I was mentioned, and then when I discovered that I wasn't actually mentioned in it, but I got all three, because I told somebody a story about Harry, and she said, oh, you're in the book. And I wasn't in the book, it's just the fact that she put the two stories together. But yes, I probably gave Prince Harry 40 or 50 pounds worth of my hard-earned cash buying his book in every format. And just in case you're wondering, I'm not in it.
Are you not?
No. It's very disappointing.
I vaguely remember you telling me that, actually.
Yeah. I was so overexcited. I went through. I read that book as quicker than I did when I got the last Harry Potter book.
See, that's one I've not read either.
3.5 hours, the last Harry Potter book. It was big. Oh, I really loved it, the last Harry Potter book. It was good fun.
We're looking for a new cast, aren't they?
Yeah, because they've got the series coming out.
Do you think we'd pass as a 9-year-old? We could.
I've probably got the brain of a 9-year-old. Well, I'd say, so Jamie said maybe you could be a teacher. I actually applied to be Professor McGonagall Yeah, and I didn't get a look in, and no wonder.
Please, would you write an autobiography, Becky? Please.
Can you imagine
that would
being
be-
up against Maggie Smith and they're like, not sure. I don't know what I was thinking of.
That would be absolutely awesome if you brought out your own, the stories that you could tell. You've told a story off air that you can't say on air. I'm telling you, that would be a New York Times bestseller
Do you
for
reckon?
sure. Yeah.
Would people be buying my book in all 3 formats?
I'm telling
That's
you,
fine.
Richard and Judy, they would be recommending it
Do you
within their
reckon?
book club.
Do they still do that?
Yeah. Yep, they still do it. They still do it. So yeah.
Kirsty D says she's reading Jane Eyre at the moment. I've decided I need a new copy of the book. Mine is about 20 years old and looking worse for wear. Yeah, that's what happens, isn't it? The real well-loved books just fall apart. Suzanne says, I'm not a reader at all. My son and daughter both love reading, but wouldn't want a Kindle. They like the real thing. It's a bit like crafters. They like the smell of the pages in a new book.
I
yeah,
understand
I
that.
completely agree. I prefer a real book.
Completely understand that. My stepdad's like that. He does have and read from a Kindle now, but he does love a good old book.
Yeah. That's looking so cool. Like that.
So going in, you do have tiny little dies that if you wanted to do actual eyes for her or pupils, you can. I'm keeping it so that she's just got her cheeks there, but you've got the option to be as creative and caricaturesque as you want. And mine's is a fine white gel pen, but you can go in if you've got your one from Sheena, your white gel pen within like Bella Luna and that. You can use that, just add in that white attention to detail.
Have you put all the spider's eyes in there?
Say that again.
Have you put all of his eyes? He needs 8 eyes, doesn't he? Or is it 6 eyes?
Do they?
8 legs and 6 eyes. I was making a cute spider.
Yeah,
Thank
well, see, I
goodness
don't
for that.
like spiders. I don't
don't-
care how good they are to
Oh, I don't
the
like spiders
environment.
either.
There's nothing worse than actually just sitting on the couch, relaxing, lights off, watching a film, and you see something scurry along the floor.
Do
No.
you know they don't like peppermint?
Do they not?
No.
Not like peppermint?
No, and I was staying in a little barn and I saw a spider while I was watching the TV and it really freaked me out. And where I was sleeping was right underneath the eaves and I was really worried about spiders. And so I had a packet of polos. And so I lay down in bed and I laid the polos all the way around me. A little bit like, if there's been an accident and people sort of chalk out the body down there. I was like that with polos all around me, hoping that because I thought the polo mint smell would deter any of the spiders. But I lay there like that because I didn't want to move because I was really paranoid. I only stayed there for one night. I was like, I can't stay there for any longer.
And did it keep away the spiders?
Well, I don't know, but I didn't see any more. So maybe,
Maybe.
yeah.
Maybe I need to be doing that myself, put some polos along the floor in the house. Not that
Try
there's
it.
many, but yeah, just...
Or if you find one, maybe you could put polos around the edge and sort of trap it in a kind of...
Like a
it's not crawled,
seance
it's not
type
crawled, 'cause
thing. Be like the circle from the Traitors or something with all these spiders.
Can you imagine, you go to someone's house and all around the house are just these little circles of polos with these little spiders in the middle
These-
going, ooh,
yeah.
let me out.
These spiders go
Oh, that's horrible. We shouldn't feel
around
like
the circle.
that. But yeah, they do frighten me. Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Makes me laugh. But we've got a winner. Can I let everyone know who
Go
the
for it,
winner
I'm
is?
just matting and layering this.
Right, okay, so the winner, so we were choosing people at random for the comments that they were putting through, and the winner is going to be winning these stickers, and also these 2 sets of mini dice. So you've got love and you've got some little house plants there, and the winner is Kelly Jones. Congratulations, Kelly Jones. If you can email in at ctvprizes@crafterscompanion.co.uk, we will make sure that you get these. So that's ctvprizes@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Congratulations, and thank you everyone for all your messages. They've made me laugh, and I've got loads of ideas about all things to read. So I'm looking forward to that. Excellent.
Awesome, well done. Well done. Nice when you you have a little win, isn't it, of something?
I love to win. What was the last thing you won?
A humongous, massive box of L'Occitane skin cream.
Oh, I remember when you won that. I was
Yeah.
very jealous when you were opening that box.
Yeah.
I like
never-
the almond shower gel.
I never contacted them for like a week and a half because I thought it was a scam. And it wasn't. They actually won it, so yeah.
I won a holiday.
Oh, well, that trumps me, doesn't it?
I won but it was a fly drive holiday to Florida, but I was only 19 at the time and you can't hire a car. So I just got a holiday to the value of whatever it was. And I went skiing. Very nice. It was good fun.
I'd rather go to Florida.
Well, but I couldn't go. If I could go. I could have gone with someone else, but my boyfriend was only a day older than me, so that wouldn't have worked.
Well, there's shuttles and that in Florida, isn't there?
Yeah,
just-
but I don't
You
no.
only need to get to a park and then just use the shuttles to go from park to park.
That looks so cool.
There we go.
Lovely.
So inspired off of a finished sample, I don't have it here, that our Nicole had done, which was on a box lid, but just done that onto a 6x6 card blank. You can of course use your white card blanks or colour card blanks. I've done it with the acetate, 12x12, chop it in half, so it's 12x6, score it. So you've got your 6x6 card blank, and then of course I've done the mats and layers in the middle just to hide any adhesive, plus somewhere to write when it comes to your card.
Fantastic. Oh, I love that, Craig. That is really, really gorgeous. Lots of people saying they'd like to read my book. Well, you have to wait. Coming soon, yeah. Rosalind says, Craig, I make my own insect sprays. Spiders don't like strong smells. So orange peel, rose petals, tea tree and peppermint oils in some water with witch hazel is a good combo spray for a small bottle. And that would make the house smell really nice as well.
It would. Mine's already smells nice with all the Yankee candles that I melt and burn. But yeah, actually, that's maybe why I don't have lots of spiders.
Yeah, because you're burning your candles
Yeah.
at both ends. Burning your candle at both ends. Means you're doing too
I'm
much.
always burning the candle at both ends. Up early, late at night.
Yeah. The white pencils, are they from Crafter's Companion that you were using?
White.
Pencil, white pen you were using?
The white gel pen?
Yeah.
No, that was just one of my own white gel pens, but you could use the ones that you've got from Sheena within the Bella Luna, and if you were in Academy of Colour, there was one there as well, so just use your own one.
Fantastic. So this was using the Halloween character showstopper. In here you've got the dies to make all those characters and the little box as well. But of course you can make them into a card like Craig has done. And then you've got a selection of linen cardstock here. So you've got that luxury linen cardstock in the blacks and the kind of dark colours. And then you've got this bumper pack full of those brightly coloured ones. You've also got a tape pen, red liner tape and some of those lovely blending brushes. The price for this is £55 or $68. The platinum price is £44 or $54.40. Now, Craig, I'm not here tomorrow, but you're here tomorrow, aren't you?
I am indeed. I am so blinking excited about this launch that we've got tomorrow.
Oh, look
Our
at that.
brand new patchwork dies. If you love paper piecing, if you love layering, then we have got, that actually looks yellow, it is green at the back there. We've got the really, really fab patchwork dies, so you can start to layer, you can then interchange. Such a great set, and myself and Ben are going to be launching them tomorrow.
Fantastic. So make sure you don't miss out on that. Remember, it's only 100 days to Christmas, so there's up to 75% off Christmas deals on the website, so don't miss out on those. I will see you on Friday, but Craig will be here tomorrow with Ben, I suppose. Have a lovely evening, and we will see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Toodles.